One thing about the sum function is that even though you can clearly see what the argument says, and it seems like the argument basically just wants us, to specify the numbers that we want to sum up one by one. The thing is that the sum function will allow us to highlight the range of numbers that we actually want to sum up. Okay, so when I type in equal to SUM and I press my tab key to basically open my parentheses to say, okay, I'm ready to start and I'm ready to provide you the inputs. In fact, let me just clean the parentheses first so that you can see the description of the sum function, and you see that it says add all the numbers in a range of cells. Okay, so a range is defined as something that starts somewhere and ends somewhere. That means I can open my parentheses like this, and instead of specifying each cell one by one, I'm basically going to specify a range of cells. Now in this case, the range of cells I want to sum up is from cell C5 to cell C14. Please don't be in the habit of going into your formula this way. Maybe you go into the formula bar like this so that you can have the formula bar active to type in your formula, and you now manually specify something like C5. The way to specify range in Excel is to use the colon, right? So if I use colon like this, that means I'm saying C5 to, then I put C14 like this, and you can see that it basically highlights that range. Okay, now that's not the way for you to go about this, right? That would be an inefficient way of working in Excel. So what you're going to do to specify range is just for you to highlight that range. So I'm just going to highlight all the way like this. That's my C5 to C14. Then I'm going to close my bracket and I'm going to press enter on my keyboard. And then I can see the total value. Now the good thing about this is, if I update any of these numbers, let's make this 80,000, you will see that my total is going to update and I don't need to, manually recalculate. If I even delete one of them, my total basically still gets updated. I don't have to delete, or I don't have to update my formula. My formula basically stays intact. I'm just going to Ctrl Z to undo this. So once you've entered your formula like this, and if you want to see what you have done, for example, you want to see what the formula is referring to. So if I go back to the cell that contains that formula, that is cell C16 now. Once I click inside the cell, if I check into my formula bar, I'm going to see that, okay, so this cell 16 is made up of a formula, and I can just double click on the cell and it's going to basically show me the range that it is pointing to. Now this becomes useful, for example, if you want to change the range, because right from here I can come to the edge here, or maybe the bottom edge here, and I can decrease the range like this if I was going to edit that range. Okay, and I'm going to press enter, and that basically edits the range. I can go back there, double click again, and I can expand it like this and bring it back to where it was. And that also goes to mean that I can also double click this way and I can just drag it out, the entire range away from there and go to specify a different range like this, right? After all, the sum function basically just adds up the numbers within a range of cells. It doesn't matter where the range of cells are. Okay, so if I press enter now, it's going to be summing up that particular column. So if I go back to the cell now, I will see summing up I5 to I14. So where is I5 to I14 that this sum is actually working on right now? I will just double click on the cell and I'm going to see where it is currently pointing to. So let me return this back to where it was. And then just for you to see that the same way that I have added this up for a vertical range of cells, you can also do the same thing for horizontal range of cells, right? So I could come here to this particular area now and do something like equal to the sum. Then I will press my tab key to open my parentheses, and I'm going to highlight this range this way, and I can close my brackets and press enter. Okay, it's also possible for you to do something different. I could also do something like this now. So equal to sum, tab key to open my parentheses, and maybe I'm just going to highlight this range like this. Then I can put a comma, and then I can highlight a different range like this. Then I'll close my bracket. That will also work as well.